Okay. Well, we'll start this week's podcast off as a normal one. But today we've got Overlord with us, who's a competitive player. He's been playing competitive for how long now?
About 6 months.
6 months, and he's fucking really, really good. Take it from me. And he's our special guest for this week. The first thing we was going to talk about was Battlefield 4's new trailer, which looks pretty fucking amazing. It showed off the single-player campaign and some emotional bit where dude throws a little child like a ball or something. So yeah, that was a pretty cool trailer. Did everybody like the trailer? Anybody watched it?
Oh yeah, I loved
I
it.
didn't watch it.
And like I told you, Chris, I knew some guys that don't play Battlefield or not in the PC realm, and they called me and they're like, "Hey, this game is awesome. It's gonna kick Call of Duty Ghost's ass." And I'm just like, "I told you that a year ago, and you didn't believe me." They didn't even play it. They don't have a PC. They just watched the trailer and watched that, and they're like, "Wow." Did you read any of the quotes that they had on the trailer too?
Some
were pretty funny.
Which one? What were they?
There's one with IGN. I'm not quoting it word for word, but it said like Battlefield 4 blows, Call of Duty Ghosts out of the water or something like that.
Yeah, IGN. Yeah, it's on the back of the box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the quote that's on the back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Another bit of news for Call of Duty for Battlefield is that has anybody heard about the new ESL things that are going off with it?
What, the game modes?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard a little bit.
Yep. Basically, it says Battlefield 4. You're gonna have like 4 different division sort of things, I think, and versus, which is your sort of like your standard competitive thing. If anybody out there plays competitively, you'll know that Battlefield 3's already been on versus, and you can go on there, and it's got its own matchmaking system and an anti-cheat thing called Wire. There's also going to be an A series, a Go 4 Battlefield 4 series, and an EMS 1 tournament series, which will have a total grand prize pool of €120,000. It's a bit daunting though, because I think they're saying that the main sort of flagship game mode for that is that it's going to be domination, and from what I've played on domination, it's not really a thinking man's game. It's more of a sort of Twitch game.
I can agree.
Yeah. Anybody else got the thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they tried to base it on the fact that it'll be more enjoyable to watch, more than it'll be more enjoyable to play.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why Battlefield 3 didn't get like the recognition for competitive, because, well, first of all, you couldn't watch it in spectator mode anyway, but because I think the game modes were just a bit boring to watch. People sitting on flags and stuff, it's not exactly exciting.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, like, any of you guys watched, shit, what's that guy's name? There's a guy on YouTube that does, just competitive stuff, for Battlefield 3, and they have, like, live matches and stuff like that on there, with different camera views and stuff.
Is it Dasgro?
Yeah, Dasgro, yeah, that's right. I have some, I don't know, I'm guessing that they've sort of gone to him as sort of like an advisor or something. I can guess that anyway, because I know that he was like there quite a lot through the beta and things like that when they had the PC set up at E3 in their own event. I think at Eurogamer, was it?
Yep.
Or something like that. But yeah, competitive gaming, I think, is probably going to get driven forward by Battlefield 4. I hope that they change the game mode, and
Well, I don't think we gave domination a chance. We played it in beta. And we didn't really have time to come up with tactics and call-outs and certain things. We were just, kind of messing around.
Yeah,
so I think domination might be a really tactical game. We just don't really, seen that yet. And we only seen one map of domination. That could be the worst map to play it on, for all we know.
Yeah. Probably.
It probably is.
Is domination going to be like the standard game mode on ESL as well?
Yeah, well, that's what
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be like that's going to be the sort of like the main game mode to be on ESL. But then you've got like people like Level BF that are doing like 32v32 full-on competitive things, and they've got like team split. I was reading the other night about how they do it.
That'd be fun.
It's really crazy, man. They've got like the way that they've got their team speak set up. You've got to copy and paste it basically into your team speak, but they've got like whisper channels set up and like voice commander things so that people can talk to other people in different channels if they're the squad commanders, and it looks fucking crazy. Like it'd be really fun to do that, I think, for a weekend, because I know they do it like I think it's once a month every weekend. Maybe they start doing a bit more with BF4, but it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I would love to have that. Like, if we got a large group of guys that's structured and organized, a 32-man team with a commander going against another big team like that, I couldn't imagine anything better than that. But you know, the problem is people don't take orders well. You know, we've had that problem with several people. They don't take orders and they don't follow orders. You know, and I don't know. We can talk about that for hours if we wanted to, but let's not.
Yeah. Next up, a little bit of bad news for PlayStation 4 users. Well, it's not bad news, it's just a fucking update, so don't know why I'm crying about it. But so Sony's PlayStation 4 will require a day one update, mobile app to be released pre-launch. I think it's not that big, it's probably like, I think it's about 300 megabytes in size, and it will enable a slew of functionality like remote play on PS Vita and a share button. Wow.
Do you even use the PS Vita?
Nah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I've never ever met anybody that. I mean,
if it came out when I was like 12, I would have.
Yeah, like quite a lot of my friends have got PlayStations, and none of them have ever used a Vita with it. Like, I mean, they might sort of go somewhere with this one, because I know that they're all about sort of like innovating new technology into new technology and shit like that.
Did you guys have a PSP back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that thing. I love it more than my PlayStation 2. I carry it everywhere and play the hell out of it.
I think the problem with Sony is they get really good ideas and then just execute them mediocrely.
Yeah.
They don't push it hard. I think they just get what they want and then sell it. They don't push it any further.
Fucking clue what they're on about, because they just think, yeah, this will be awesome. Let's make a handheld thing, but then they just market it completely wrong and they just balls it up because they're twats.
Yeah, but then I did like how, I mean, this is going to tie into another subject, but I did like how when the stuff came out about PlayStation and then they brought out the stuff about Xbox was a media box when it got brought out. It was sort of like, all right, check this out. You can watch TV and then make a fantasy football team on it. And PlayStation was just like, yeah, we've got this fucking game, we've got this game, and it's like, oh, wow.
It was a game console to begin with.
It fits its purpose, exactly.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's really good. But yeah, I mean, that kind of brings us on to the other subject, which is Microsoft puts the focus back onto gaming with Xbox One's innovation advert. And have any of you guys seen this advert yet? It's got the mech suit thing from like Titanfall in it. Yeah. And I think it's a really, really good trailer for Xbox. I don't know. I think well, from what I've heard, is that Titanfall's only going to be Microsoft exclusive, so it'll be on PC and it'll only be on Xbox. Yeah, because I don't know.
Yes.
And it's being made by most of the good team from Infinity Ward.
The Respawn Studios that makes it.
Yeah.
It's like Vince Appella and somebody else.
Basically, everyone who made
Infinity
COD 4.
Ward.
Yeah. Basically, everybody who made the best Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
One of the best.
The best.
I don't know.
Arguably the best for a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's just an opinion, really.
Which one is it?
Called Modern Warfare 1.
Nah, Modern Warfare 2 was better.
Ooh, who are you, man? No.
Debate, man. Serious debate going on, right?
Okay, Modern Warfare 2 was a terrible game. It was my least favorite of all of them, honestly.
Best.
I think the thing was with Modern Warfare 1 was that it was so balanced. Like, because everybody had the same score streaks and everybody used Stopping Power Pro. And
yes, there was problems with COD 4. It's nostalgic, but the problem is like Modern Warfare 2. They reached too broad of an audience. They made the guns kill too easily. Guns had hardly any recoil at all. The snipers were ridiculously stupid. The kill streaks were ridiculous. The nuke was the worst thing they ever come up with. You know, it's like and your kill streaks stacked on against your other kill streaks. Like if you got a 7 kill streak with your one-man army noob tube, you got a nuke. That's not a fun game.
I mean,
go ahead.
I think the reason COD 4 was so good is just how simple it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was no.
I'm right there with you.
When Black Ops 2 came out, I played it for about 2 days and quit because it was just so much shit going
I had
on.
to hit prestige and quit.
Like every corner you turn, there was like some gadget that was inevitably gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2. I think a lot of people's favorite CODs is the first one they started on.
Yeah.
Honestly, you hear that. I remember going back to the COD 1 days. I don't know if you guys played it on PC or not, but you had like search and destroy matches with bolt actions without scopes, and you would
Yeah.
jump around like crazy. I mean, that was so fun and difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Call of Duty 4 is one of my best. But honestly, Black Ops is actually up there with it for me.
Mm.
And I played hardcore on both of them.
But then I think the thing, like, this is probably off subject, but you know what really, 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 really pisses me off about every single game, and it pisses me off in Battlefield as well, is that like if you go on some sort of like mad tear in one sort of on one match, and then you come out of it, and then you spend about fucking 10 minutes clicking on things just so it doesn't say new on it.
Yep.
Do you know?
Yeah.
And it's really, really small. It's like a small thing, but it gets on my nerves. But it does it more in Black Ops and games like that because you've got like sorry.
Attachments.
No, what are they called? The fucking
Emblem thing.
Perks?
Yeah, exactly. You get like a new emblem or a new gun unlock or
Yeah, and you
like,
get
and
one. You get about 15 every game, and you have to scroll through, and they're all on different pages. And there's
Yeah.
about 600 different pages.
yeah.
Hey, that means you
Yeah.
go over them. You might get a badass one you didn't realize you had.
Yeah, but I'm not like that's the thing as well. Like I don't want to stick like I don't know if I'm gonna try really hard on this emblem editor in Battlefield 4 or not. But like I'm not gonna. I bought the game to play it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't buy it so I
Right.
could be an artist or anything like that.
You should do it. You should do a PTFO SC emblem.
I know. Yeah,
It
I
does.
want to do that and then just keep it like that. But
But you know what happens if they didn't put that in? People were complaining that they haven't put
Really?
it in, and it's just
Why can't
that's
we
the
have an
thing.
emblem?
If you don't include something, someone's going to complain about it. If you include something, someone else is going to complain about it.
yeah,
What about the battle recorder? That's like on the same line as that. Is
Yeah.
it introduced? What's the deal with that?
Has it been confirmed or not?
It's confirmed that it can be in it, but they're not implementing in it. Jack Frags has got a petition going that you can actually sign. We'll link it.
I did
in
sign
this.
it.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's to try and get people, well, the people at DICE or EA or whoever doesn't want this to be released, to actually put it into the game and implement it, because what it'd mean is like a lot less lag on your game and stuff while you're recording, because like third-party recording softwares such as like the X Story and Fraps mainly, that's a fucking badass.
I don't know
computer
if you
destroyer.
I don't know if you watched GameSpot earlier, but they had video about because Battlefield 4 was meant to be getting held up for release.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I
yeah,
don't know
I've
if
heard
that had something to do with maybe integrating that battle recorder.
Yeah. But that's, I don't know why everybody's so like mad, because like I could have sworn that, I mean probably I am wrong, but I could have sworn that they did say that they will eventually implement it in part of some DLC, and it'll just come with the update. It's just
I
that
think
that
just
people
imagine
want it now.
all the cool videos you'll see after that recorder.
Yeah,
I mean the cool shots and the spectators. You know, and that's going to be amazing. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it in the Call of Duty recorder. Imagine in Battlefield on that large scale.
They get it saved to like the cloud or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
They would,
exactly.
but so you could have
make
it
it like
constantly
Google
on,
Drive
couldn't you?
based.
You could
Right,
it
you don't
just
have
on
to
all the
store it on
time.
your PC. Yeah, I mean DICE can do it with their own servers or something. I guess I don't know, but
Yeah, I think the main thing though is that like with Battlefield 4 is like we really don't want like the servers to fucking crash on the first sort of like couple of days it's out.
Yep.
So I guess that's another thing why they'd be sort of pushing it back, because they want to get a good test on their servers and make sure that they're all running stable and stuff like that. So that
what day is the official release for?
for you guys it's the 29th. For us it's the
Tuesday, right?
1st.
I've heard people talking about getting VPNs though.
What's that?
It lets you like I don't know if it disguises like
Does
Isn't it
Yeah,
just
IP
trick,
and
your
stuff.
computer
Yeah,
thinking you're in America, basically?
yeah, and
like if you want to look at something fucked up, get a VPN.
yeah, I think that's what a lot of people did with Battlefield 3. He's got a VPN if they were living in the UK, and
And they
then
really
download
wait
it 2 days
3
early.
days.
And doesn't
I
it
know,
protect you from DDoSers too? I mean, if you
I
had
don't know.
I really don't
Believe
care.
it does.
3 days, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Um,
going really out there to get it though.
Yeah. That
And
probably brings us on to another subject actually, which is Firefox has got a plugin now that reveals how your internet browsing is being monitored. Basically, it surveillances the websites that you're on, and then it finds out if a website is tracking what you're doing, and then it finds out who's tracking the website that you're tracking, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing, but it's like Yeah, basically it's kind of like if anybody is sort of trying to get personal information off you or anything like that to put towards something like ads or whatever, you can find out who it is that's trying to take the information off your cookies and things like that. Not a big deal, but
that's pretty neat
cool,
actually.
but
Yeah, I
don't
like
think
that.
I don't think I'd turn my back on Chrome now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I fell in love with Chrome.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I use Chrome as well. Absolutely love it. Anybody know what the is? It's, I think you pronounce it the, is it the
Then the Ouya.
Ouya? Ouya.
I don't know.
Yeah, does anybody know about the Ouya? The Ouya is a new console that.
Oh, this isn't the one from Rocket, is it? Wasn't it?
I
The
don't
Ouya
know.
console, isn't it like a really small, like not
Yeah.
too expensive console?
The queerest little
Yeah.
controller I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. The controller, this is it, is going to be changed before release, but you won't know what it looks like until you open the box.
It would just be a penis with buttons on it.
Yeah.
What about the
Exactly.
Steam Box controller? That looks really
that
neat.
looks amazing, man.
Yeah,
Do you
it
like
does
it?
look cool.
I don't like it.
I don't know if I can get into that, you know.
I think
Obviously-
there's more
think that
precision
people-
offered there instead of analogs, though. It would be weird to get used to it first, but I bet it's actually a lot easier to catch on because it's not analog. So I mean, so it'll move where your thumbs move. Like in a PC, your hands, when you stop moving, your cursor stops moving or your view. Where a console, if you turn the analog, it's turning at an X amount of speed. With
Is
the
it- is it-
controller, what's that?
Is it like a trackpad?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as
Well,
soon
it
as you get
apparently works
a
really
little
well,
tiny
some
bit of
people say
grease
they
on it,
tried
it doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly right.
I mean, because
So if you're
I
eating
use
chips
a-
and playing Call of Duty, your guy won't be able to turn because you have grease on your thumbs.
the thing
Yeah.
about it is,
Well,
I
was
use
playing
I
Call
use
of
my
Duty
trackpad on my
this crap
laptop.
anyway.
I've had
Sure.
several apps, and that's all I use. I know people are like, why do you use that thing? And I've never had problems with grease, fooling with the accuracy of it. I mean, who knows? I mean,
And I'm sorry, but looking at that picture, in my opinion, the consoles shouldn't be getting smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the controller's bigger than the console itself. I mean, where the heck does the game go? Where does this? What happens when?
I think
I mean-
it's an online
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
thing.
pretty sure it's online,
Oh,
yeah.
so it just like
cloud
hooks
based.
into something.
Yeah, it might run like is it Genkai? Is that what the games company is that's going to be on PlayStation 4?
I have no idea.
Oh, basically like I know there's a company that's sort of like been bought out by Sony, and they're going to be putting on streamed games, which means that you'll be able to sort of like play a game that's not even stored on your hard drive. You just play it straight from the cloud. And apparently there's like no graphics loss and things like that. There was something that came out for PC not long ago. I can't remember what it was called, but you can do the same thing on PC, and it's completely reliant on your internet connection.
Is this Games Live or whatever it is?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
that
that's
was
what
the
it
most horrific experience of my life.
Yeah, I've tried it and it's not good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But I don't know. Like I think being as Sony spent so much money on it, I'm guessing that it better be right for customers out there, because if it's not, there's going to be either a boycott of it and they've wasted their money, or it's going to be people pissed off that they're paying for a subscription.
Boycott on a Sony product, don't be silly.
Well, no, yeah, but
Just
it's
buy
not
the product themselves.
not on the PlayStation. I mean, on the actual sort of, it's like an app, so nobody will probably use it.
I don't think game streaming is going to work until everyone all over the world's got good internet,
Exactly.
people
and I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I have
Sounds
plenty of
about
friends
how
and
they-
family that aren't. It's sad.
Yeah.
Because who wants to be playing like a first-person shooter and just in the middle of it you just start lagging like hell?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Anyone with an Xbox or a PS3?
yeah.
But
True.
that's your
Well, you play
friend
Modern
groups,
Warfare 3 and
crap.
get that lag comp.
Client side hit detection on Battlefield 3.
Yep.
That is a
Yeah,
good
that
thing.
explains
Though.
it.
That is a good thing on Battlefield 4. How like they've changed some of the codes and stuff like that for their IP. Because
Yeah.
I noticed when we was playing the Battlefield 4 beta, it seems a lot better with the hit detection.
And that was beta.
Yeah.
Remember how awful Battlefield 3 beta was at first?
Hmm.
As far as hit detection and shooting.
Yeah. I'm literally going to be reading this off the screen, but Mac Pro launches in December for $3,000. 3.7 gigahertz quad core Xeon CPU, 12
I'm gonna get
gigabytes of RAM, and 556 gigabytes of SSD. This is the standard chip, so it's like you can obviously pay like $6,000 fucking more dollars and get some sort of tricked out Mac.
Better be light enough for hipsters to take it to Starbucks.
Yeah, did you see that picture? There's a
No.
picture going around on Facebook and stuff, and it's this guy who sat in a Starbucks, and he's literally got his Mac Tower set up, and he's
No,
typing on it and stuff. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, mate,
Funny.
fucking idiot. Yeah. So
Like
yeah,
laptops
you'd
are
be
so
able to spend that.
mainstream.
yeah. They also said, Apple said that don't expect to see a new Mac for another 10 years. So
No way they say that, man.
that's what it says, man.
I guess they're gonna make like
That-
20
nah,
variants
that
of
mean
the
they won't
same
next year,
product.
man.
Yeah,
It
it'd be
says-
like a 2-inch difference.
Considering
between the
Apple's
next one.
touting this as the computer you'll have for the next 10 years, perhaps some expansion beyond the base model is worth a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be.
So they're
an
just going to
inch thinner.
expand on this model instead of making a completely brand new
Okay.
Mac.
Oh,
Yeah.
just the look of it then, because
They'll
haven't
just
been
like make it an
looking
inch
for a while.
thinner and sell at the same price they said the original
See-
price on the old product.
I know that like
We-
recently,
Sorry.
but the thing is as well, like it looks like a fucking bin. Like when I saw the
Looks like a trash
picture,
bin.
when I saw the picture, I didn't actually think that was the picture of the Mac. I was just sort of like, okay, little block thing, and then the
Oh,
price next to it.
yeah, I've seen it now. I remember.
We need to get an Apple enthusiast that really knows what they're talking about on here.
Well, I should
But,
do.
yeah,
but
it
I
looks
gave
like- it
up
looks
on
like
Apple last year because
like a
I
bread
just
bin.
got bored.
Oh, did you see that second paragraph in the article, Chris? It says, there's a $4,000 version
Mm.
with a 3.5 gigahertz 6-core Intel
Ooh,
E5
6-core.
processor
I'm not really
and
but
dual AMD Fire Pro D500 GPUs.
See,
The GPU output is bold anyway.
the
You
only
would've-
reason I get a Mac is if I was a photographer or I was heavily into video editing.
Right, but
That's
I
the-
would really like. Sorry.
Oh, I wouldn't get one just as a computer, which a lot of people do.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I
really
just don't
need
see
to
the
get
point.
somebody that knows what
I'd
they're
get one if
talking
I was
about as far as
absolutely
Mac.
Or I could have got into video editing, which I'd like to, but that's just time.
So I've still got my Mac. That gets to my mum because I'm a legend, by the way.
Yep.
But the thing was I got that originally for the music recording and video editing, and it's good for that. Like Logic, which is the program that's sort of like exclusive to Apple, is one of the most easiest, intuitive sort of programs you can use for music editing. They used to have the market with Final Cut Pro, which was a video editing suite, which used to be the standard across the board for every single sort of film developer out there. It didn't matter if you was sort of like semi-professional or you was like you was Christopher Nolan. It did not matter, and everybody used to use that program. Oh man, please don't. Yeah, everybody used to use that, and the thing was like they did an update for it, and the update was called Final Cut X, I think. And it basically turned it into
Sounds like a
iMovie.
porno.
It does. But they turned it into basically like a really simplified version of video editing software, which had no support for third-party plugins and things like that, which were really, really important for video editing people. And they kind of dug themselves. It's kind of like Windows 8 again, but with Mac. And sort of like everybody went out and bought it, and it was like, yeah, fucking Apple, yeah. And then there was like big uproar because it was the shittest program ever. So yeah, in terms of that, Mac for their software are a really, really good company to go with. But as you said, for gaming, not unless you're going to play.
Phones and tablets, yes.
You know, not to get off
Computers,
subject too much, Chris, but about Windows 8, you know, you people really, rave and bitch about it, and I've really
I've got
enjoyed
it. I've got it.
I've got it as well.
and ever since I've had it, and listen to this. Okay, my great grandmother got a new laptop, and it's Windows 8, and she's used to Windows 7. So I'm going to go down there, later today and spend about an hour to show her how to do it. But like everybody's so like native to change,
Yeah.
I mean,
But I don't think that the problem was change. I think the problem was that it was optimized for tablets and not
Yeah,
for
and it
for
was
PCs.
absolute bull.
I mean, it looks like a tablet at
the
first,
one-
but is it behind the doors as far as the interfaces? Is it really for tablets?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
Because
that's the
there's
problem.
there's a Windows RT, right? That's the operating system for tablets, and there's a Windows 8 for
yeah.
PCs. So they might look the same, I don't know much about this. What I'm
Yeah,
saying,
no,
they might
the-
look the same, but they might work completely different.
No, but
Yeah.
they've developed it for touchscreen computers as well.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just basically they've thought, how can we be all fancy and new and think, yeah, every single person in the world's now got a touchscreen computer because that's new technology, and we're all rich people at Microsoft, so we've all got one. So let's just make a stupid thingy that's slidey and crappy and colourful and gypsy-ish and put it out to the market, and everyone hates it, and then they patch it like a year later, and now kind of works ish.
But the thing,
I
I
haven't
think
had
the
a
thing
problem
is,
with it.
is that like gamers are gonna have to bite the bullet eventually anyway, because
Why?
this is gonna be Windows 8 is gonna be the platform for game developers. I mean, Battlefield 4 was
Makes a
developed
difference.
on Windows 8.
Yeah, you
Well, it
get like
does.
an extra 20 frames. If you've got a beast graphics card, that doesn't bother you.
Yeah, but what about
Yeah,
people
we-
that don't have
I
these
don't.
graphics
But they're
cards?
poor.
Like
It's
20, 20 frames a second is a lot, especially if you're getting. I mean, if you're getting 40, then 60 would be a bunch,
It
wouldn't
looks
it? It'd be
If you're
like,
going 40, you shouldn't be buying Windows 8. You should be buying a new graphics card.
Yeah, but isn't
Well, I got Windows 8
Windows
for $40.
Isn't Windows 8 the only
Windows.
one that's got DirectX 11.1?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Mm.
And that's sort of like the thing is that obviously game developers are going to be building on
Yeah,
that.
because
so-
consoles are using it now, aren't they? 11.1.
Yeah, and that is a good thing as well, because like it means that PC gaming is going to get better stuff. I think.
Yeah,
anyway.
but give it a year and then it'll be.
Yeah, and then we'll be
Same.
sort of like on this plateau of.
Bollocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Um. Right. Overlord. Can you tell us a bit about G-Sync? Because we kind of know a bit about it, but obviously
I
you know
don't.
a bit more.
Well,
You know,
I don't know much, but what I can tell you is it's doing monitors,
Yeah.
and it's. I'm not sure if it's you can do it yourself
You can't.
or no, you can't. Okay, you can't do it yourself. And it's like a little chip that gets integrated into your screen, and I think it's to do with 4K. I think, isn't it? Like
yeah.
switch from 1080 to 4K.
It, you know when you watch films, yeah, they're usually in about 30 frames per second, but they're so smooth and clean because the output from the graphics card and it's basically like a really low response time. There's no input lag whatsoever, so there's no screen tear and there's no annoying little like lag spikes and drops and stuff, and that's what they're going for. And I saw a review of it. Someone sort of used it, and they said even they were playing with 760s, I think,
Yeah.
at the event, and they said even with cards, oh, I'd say that low, but they're not that low, but that quality, they're still. It still looks like you're playing 144 hertz on a 780 or something.
Yeah.
It's because the screen tearing is such a minimum, and it's just so smooth and crisp that you don't even need that high frame. So it's basically, I think it kind of works with a graphics card. It's like a little tiny computer in the back,
Yeah.
monitor, and it works with your graphics card to stop input lag. They
Yeah,
also,
it syncs to your graphics card instead of
yeah.
your monitor syncing to instead of your graphics card syncing to your monitor.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. So it also they built in their own scaling type thing, so there's not scaling doesn't mess up as much, and it's just a little perk. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I think we'll know more about it.
Yeah. In the coming.
I'd
Yeah.
still wait like a couple of years to get it because
Yeah,
when the monitors become more widely available.
yeah, I'm not
At the
sure
moment,
on
it's just like,
pricing of
you've
it.
got this, buy it.
I think Asus is trying to push it more than anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really disappointing as well because I've got an Asus monitor, and
Yeah.
obviously they've always been Nvidia partnered, I think, because like the one that I've got is like a 3D vision enabled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
monitor,
so,
Hey, wake up.
but
Yeah, they are. They're partnered with Nvidia. I think they have been since the 500 series.
I
Yeah.
think everyone's quite
Oh,
shocked
couple
because everyone thought what AMD was doing was amazing, this mantle, and then Nvidia's brought this out, and then it's just I think everyone's shocked at Nvidia more now because I think this is just going to change the whole relationship between your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maps
monitor
hasn't
and
even proven to work properly yet. We don't have any proof. We've got nothing.
Yeah,
They haven't even devved it, to be honest.
I've heard
We-
the cards run so hot, like 95 degrees.
Oh yeah, they do, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
But
I
that's
was watching
still
a
a
review
bit.
on it the other day, and they said even though it runs at 95 degrees, it's meant to. The fans slow down on the card until it reaches 95, then they speed up. because they
Yep.
wanted that's the optimal speed to run it at.
Yeah.
I also heard the reference cards are terrible at overclocking. They actually run a little slower if you overclock them at the moment.
Yeah.
Aren't the
So-
third-party cards cheaper as well?
Yeah.
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 So I'll be getting a third party.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
understand that, to be honest.
Third party's usually the way to go.
So if you get like an overclocked 290X third party, it will be
Be
at
back.
780. Definitely.
I saw that the 290X actually beats the Titan in some
Some
comparisons.
aspects, yeah.
Yeah, with benchmarks and stuff. Because I know that there's been some benchmarks done. I didn't see which
Some.
games. I didn't see which games they were for, but it did state that it outperforms the Titan in some games. But then a lot of people out there don't actually know that the Titan is actually a rendering card. It's made
There it is.
primarily for video rendering and video
I'm back.
things, which is why most of the time it can possibly get beaten by just sort of
A 780 beats Titan in gaming.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
kind of
if-
like the i5 beats the i7 again.
I don't know if you've
Sorry.
seen the pictures of that 780 Ti, the leaked pictures of the benchmarks.
No, I haven't
But
seen
it doesn't seem to. It's not on the same level as the Titan,
Yeah.
which I don't understand.
Hmm.
When it's meant to be, I'm expecting it to try
It
and
will
be the AMD killer.
Remember, you're looking at
Yeah.
reference cards, not overclocked.
Well, I mean, we're
I
going
know,
back to the
but-
same topic as last podcast. They're pumping them out too many at times. AMD and
Yeah,
Intel, both
I
of
know.
them. They're releasing too many different types and variants.
I know you always
That's
feel
ridiculous.
like as soon as you bought a new card, you feel like you've about 6
That
months
you're
down
out
the
of
line
date.
that
Yeah,
you're
you're
out
already
of date
beaten.
again. Yeah.
I mean, I
Like,
bought
yeah,
the
so-
660 Ti, or the 660 regular, and it's already out of date by a year and a half.
Yeah, same with my
I mean,
680.
and I bought it 6 months ago.
My 680 was 480 quid when I first got it. Now it's 320.
You know, I don't really know much about the hardware. I mean, I don't really focus too much about it. But it's just like the 7970. If I got that, well, guess what? There's a 7990, and it's
Yeah.
like super, extremely more expensive than the 7970. But how more powerful is it? You know,
It's if you got this is what I was saying last week, but if you got two 7970 gigahertz edition cards for roughly, I think, about the same price as one of those cards, you'd have a steady frame rate and you'd have plenty of frames per second to play with. I mean, to be fair, like I don't run. I mean, I'll run single player games and stuff like that, and games that I don't play sort of against other people. I'll play games like that on like ultra settings and stuff because I don't really mind
Right.
about getting a low frame rate and stuff. But if I'm playing like Battlefield, I always have like everything pretty much turned off, just because I want that extra frame rate and I want that
Yeah.
extra sort of like ability to be able to see more than what the other person can see potentially and things like
Kind
that.
of like
yeah.
a sad thing at the same time because half the time you go to PC because of graphics.
the
Yeah.
graphics.
we all
I think
like
people are
chipped
so
and down.
obsessed with frames.
But
anymore.
then-
That's all you hear about is frames.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's,
then-
it's kind of sad.
I think the thing is, as well, is it does genuinely make the game feel smoother to me. Like I did a test where I put on ultra settings and then I did everything on like low and off. And the thing was like I was getting like near enough about the same. Well, not near enough about the same frame rate, but you get what I mean. Like it was still like up in the sort of 90, 100 frames a second or whatever.
Yeah.
But it felt like shit. Like
Yeah, you
my,
get the
my mouse.
chunky bits.
Yeah, my mouse actually felt like it was just I was just rolling it about in fucking dog shit or something, and then you really do notice a difference. It feels like a lot better to play. And the thing is that like because when I moved to PC gaming, it was primarily because I wanted to be better at aiming at people and just doing better at games and stuff. And I know that a mouse and keyboard is a lot more precise than a gamepad because you've got like a quarter of an inch worth left and right on an analog stick, and you've got sort of like the full width of your mat if you've got a big mat on a PC, with your arm being the tool for aiming and stuff. So you could potentially get a shitload better than other people. Like I'm not very good with my thumbs, so that's like a downfall for gaming on consoles with me. But I'm a lot better on PC than I am on consoles. But that's
I don't know
primarily.
if you ever watched that thing where the PC they like made it so PC players played Xbox players on Battlefield.
Oh no!
I don't know
that'd
if you
be
ever seen
fun.
that, but
No.
the Xbox players got absolutely wiped.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would
I
love
don't
to
know if
see
they
that.
did it. I don't know how they did it. They like configured it to use the same server or something.
Can you send me a link to a video about that sometime?
Oh yeah, I'll if I can find it.
Yeah. Stewie, you wanted to ask Overlord about some competitive stuff, man.
Right, yeah, I was going to ask, see, I'm not a big competitive guy in Battlefield 3. You guys know that. I talked a lot of shit about competitive in Battlefield 3, and you know the list of reasons. Overlord, I was wondering, I don't know how, I haven't, seen you play competitive. I'm just wondering, as far as gun selection, did you kind of just choose, like, the typical standard M416 or M16 in your competitive matches?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Are you wanting that to change in Battlefield 4?
Kind of. But like the first thing I noticed when I went on Battlefield 4 is that AK-12. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was just
Okay.
you could kill people miles away easily. And I think if that gun stayed like that, that would probably be one of the run-ins for a competitive gun.
Yeah.
Because I know I know it's sad to say, oh, you use the easiest gun, but at the same time, if everyone's using that gun, it's a fair
Yeah,
fair
yeah, it's a
match
fair match.
because everyone's at the same level, and it just shows individual skill compared to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That takes out some of the variables, but I think really using easier handled guns kind of diminishes the good players from bad players. No. If you gave everybody a difficult gun to use, I think that would be not like a sniper rifle. I'm talking assault rifle. Let's say you gave everybody a Scar H.
Yeah.
I would love to see that over everybody using an AK-12.
But here's the thing, Stewie. If you look, say BF3, I mean, I know it's not BF4, but if you take me and Chris both, and you pinned us side by side with each other, shooting at a wall with M16s, he would win in accuracy, just because I'm not that good with the M16. But you see that it does actually affect, it will affect how many people play competitive, because if you are the better player, you'll win. No matter if you are using the same gun or not.
Yeah.
That's why some teams are better than others.
I think the thing is
Yeah.
as well, like to remember, is that Battlefield 3 it started out with the AEK and then it became the M16, I think.
Right.
And that was because that was the more balanced gun all round, and the AEK has got a fucking kick to it. Like the recoil on that gun is quite ridiculous.
Yeah. But it'll kick an
Um,
M16's ass at close range, obviously.
Yeah,
it
just
should.
rate of fires.
Yeah, just shoot rate of
100
fire,
rounds
we'll
more,
just get it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think people try to focus more like too much on the actual gun you're using in competitive. It's more about the way you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
a
why-
lot of competitive things about judgment and where you are on the map.
Yeah.
It's placement. It's watching places. It's not about what gun you use, and you can
It's
use.
the
Right.
tactics is actually.
I
If a
feel,
guy-
I
if a
feel that
guy-
the competitive. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I feel like the competitive scene in Battlefield 3, it's really focused on positioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
A lot
is.
more than what people believe.
A guy could run around with a pistol, but if he's got map awareness and player awareness, he'll win.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say that bringing it forward with Battlefield 4, you probably might just see that there's going to be handicaps. There might not be, but there might be as well, where you'd have sort of like both teams having the same weapon loadout, and it's a handicap to that, if you get what I mean. And you have to be good at that weapon. That might be sort of like a fun thing that like clans could probably do with like other clans, if you get what I mean, and have sort of like, all right, everybody get better with this gun. We're going to use this primarily on this match or something like that, because you'd be able to call people out on what guns that I mean, you could do that in Battlefield 3, to be fair. But I do agree with like Overlord. I mean, I use the M60. I got 100 service stars with it the other day. Yay! Yay! my goal for Battlefield 3 is fucking finished, so I feel happy about it. But anyway, yeah, I don't get why people like hate on it so much as well. The thing is you can't hate a player for wanting to become good at a game.
Right.
I mean, and that's the way that you do it. Is it doesn't
I
matter.
hate. I don't hate the player that uses it. Honestly, I just hate
Yeah,
the
yeah.
judgment that the developers made in the game. Actually, And the thing is, though, on the other hand, will the class system be dominant on a particular class in Battlefield 4, like Battlefield 3 was with the medic?
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think that will change.
I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I think it will change just because. Well,
The carbines?
I'm judging it on that China was it China Rising? What was it called?
Shanghai.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
On that map, just because of the amount of vehicles. I don't think I played medic once, to be honest. I
Yeah.
was either sniper because of C4 or NG.
Yeah, same.
Because there was just so many vehicles. Every time you went somewhere, there was a vehicle there.
Yeah.
I think it could change.
I was thinking competitive on an infantry only based.
Well,
kinda
I don't
deal,
think
though.
competitive's going to be infantry only anymore.
Okay.
To be honest,
Mm.
because
That's-
the size of the maps and stuff.
Yeah. There's gonna be more like the level BF tournament in the beta with
Yeah.
32v32.
That sounds awesome.
Which the thing is with that as well is that it is going to be more of sort of like, I think that pretty much answers your question, Stewie. If it is going to be like full teams and things like that, it won't really it won't matter on what weapon you have, because you're going to have the whole map to be able to sort of like have your map awareness on and things like that. So you're going to be able to sort of like tell if someone's going to be coming, or if you're on the top of a building, you'll be able to pick him off because you've seen him first and things like this.
Hey,
So,
wait,
yeah.
You know, I think really what would make me happy. I mean, not okay. Carbines are used universally, so I think like we talked about that last podcast about how the ACR or whatever carbine might be the gun to use for competitive. Well, why don't we just make the carbines subpar to every other class in a sense? So if you want to stick to a gun and get really good at it, you're going to be handicapped on that level, and you'll compensate for actually mastering the gun itself.
Yeah.
Maybe that might help out the competitive scene. I think I don't know why I'm strict on gun variety.
Yeah.
I've always different attachments do different things, this and that. I don't like how you limit it to one sight, one attachment, one barrel attachment, and one gun.
Yeah.
I think it's dry, it's boring, and it kills the life of the game. And I've seen it time and time and time and again, and it's old. I really envy the one gun kind of deal.
Yeah, I think in competitive, there's always been that. Like when I used to play COD 4 competitive, like really hard, and the gun for that was M16 as well.
16.
Yeah, and on Battlefield 3, obviously it's M16, and I think it's always going to be like that. There's always going to be one gun that everyone's going to want to use.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to change, really.
I don't know. I mean, actually, was there a sense of competitiveness in Modern Warfare 2?
Well, yeah, but it kind of fizzled out.
Fizzled out. Okay, well,
Yeah,
about
everyone
the
went back to
competitive
COD
guns,
4.
though, there was actually more variety, I would believe, in Modern Warfare 2's guns compared to the other
in
CODs.
competitive there was as well, because it was either FAMAS or M16. But I know it's only two, but it's more of a difference.
Yeah.
Right, and those guns you required. I mean, it's kind of funny how we're talking about COD, but those guns required a skilled user to use. The FAMAS and M16, you had to be dead on accurate to use those guns.
Well, I used to play hardcore, so
I did too. In Modern Warfare 2.
and especially in competitive, that was a lot more not gun but map awareness, because one shot you're dead.
Yeah.
You've got to know spots and everything, and I think that was a lot to do with map control and map awareness. So.
My problem with guns that are used frequently, if they're easy to use, I don't like that. I mean, make a gun like the N94, make it a beast in the hands of somebody that can actually use the gun.
Well, it is. I don't know if you.
Yeah, it is.
You know
I
what
did,
Ducky
I
is, don't you,
enjoyed it.
Chris? You know what Ducky is, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he uses A94 in competitive, and he's just fucking awesome with it.
Yeah, it's literally like a fucking headshot.
Yeah, if someone can use that, you go down like a bag of shit.
Yeah. But then, he's pretty accurate with like a 44 as well. Or no, sorry, not him. I think it was Irish. Irish is fucking deadly with that thing. Yeah, but I think overall, everybody sort of excited for competitive.
Yeah, a bit. I'm not sure at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never was excited for it to begin with.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll see how it goes. I think it's one of those things where like it is a new, like it, as much as it isn't, it is a new thing with the Battlefield series, because obviously they're changing sort of like the way that it is.
Yeah, the mechanics and everything.
Yeah.
I would like to watch it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good thing to watch actually, because like when did anybody watch the live streams for when Battlefield 4 beta first got announced?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were basically like doing spectator mode and then sort of like picking on people to sort of like watch, and picking on the guy that was doing like the most damage and things like that. And I could see myself sort of watching it if I'm bored, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless it was like an actual match and it was between two people that I really like. In fact, there's an article out the other day which said something about Call of Duty Ghosts would be classed as a sport in competitive. And of course everybody was sort of like, are you having a laugh? Like, it's not a sport.
Is this a joke?
game.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's where ESL comes from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Electronic Sports League.
Yeah. And that makes sense the way that it's put there, because it's like Electronic Sports League. But
Yeah, but is darts a sport?
yeah, yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think the way that they define it is a physical, competitive game.
Yeah.
I suppose you do get sweaty moving your fingers a lot, don't
You
you?
can't make every game competitive.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, Battlefield 3 wasn't mainly a competitive game, but it did have competitive players in it that did sort of like their own matches and set up their own clan matches, and ESL adopted it, not to the full extent, that Counter-Strike or anything else, or Dota 2, which is
balls.
blown up in the scene. I've never played it.
Never
For about 5 minutes, and I just deleted it from Steam.
Yeah.
It seems to be like massive on Twitch TV and things like that
Fat
these days. Though.
Americans.
Yeah, I think it's because of the prize pools and competitive.
Yeah.
It gets so much funding and sponsors.
And
I really do hope, though, the Battlefield 4, the full-scale competitive scene with the large players, I really hope that works, because that would be awesome to watch. And that would attract a lot of attention from other people gaming that game on different platforms and games. They would even watch that,
Yeah.
you know?
How many spectators can you have in a Battlefield 4 game?
I think it's just. Is that it?
See, if they improve that to like 50,
Yeah.
you could seriously get some enjoyment out of it, because you could literally join ESL matches and watch it.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
You were saying the other day as well, was it you, Fresher, that was on about the delay time in spectator mode? Because when people were playing it on the beta, there was no delay on it at all. So you
I
could just be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I never spectated.
I never
tried
did
out.
either.
Yeah, we were talking about this, me and Crow and some other people. I think if it was, not a game that was controlled by like an actual competitive referee or something like that, it could be abused quite a bit.
Yeah.
With people just going to another team speaking, watching the opposite team play and
Oh,
just
yeah.
telling them where they are.
Oh yeah,
But I
if
think-
you,
I think
if
who's
you
in the-
did start
sorry.
doing that with ESL, you'd have to have them all in the same team.
Yeah, I think they would integrate like something which made it have a delay or something like that.
Yeah.
Can you recognize who's in spectating mode and who isn't?
I'm not sure
Yeah,
actually, can you?
It does. I think it tells you who's in spectating mode.
You could flood them. You can fill them up. There you go.
Fresh, you got any subjects, man?
Not really.
No. Jono,
Most of mine have been covered.
Stewie,
Nope.
Overlord.
Yeah,
No.
I've actually.
Anybody?
Overlord, go.
I've been telling a few people this week about this new app that's on Android and iOS. It's called Rocket Power Grid. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
Basically, you download it onto your PC and you put the app on your computer, maybe your phone,
Yeah.
and it allows you to control most of the things on your PC. You can look at your CPU loads and stuff like that. To tell you how much each core's doing. You can control all your music. And it's got loads of options as well. You can there's a whole screen just full of downloadable apps for it.
That's insane.
And
Wow.
it is really good.
That
I've been
sounds
using it
really
all this
good.
week.
It's like a good program.
Like when I'm watching films on my PC and I want to sit on my bed, I just use that.
That's it.
And it shows you like even how much net usage you're getting, like uploading and downloading. It's mad what it does.
I'm literally gonna download that straight away, right after this. Sounds amazing. All right, I think that's it for this week. Then, thanks for watching. If anybody did watch, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.